study parallel and perpendicular lines and writing equations of them. Some key ideas. The parallel lines are lines that never intersect. They look like this. They have the same slope. They have different y-intercepts. Perpendicular lines are lines that form a right angle, looking like this. They have opposite reciprocal slopes, and that means you change the sign and flip the fraction. And they have same or different y-intercepts. In our first example, we are going to determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. In doing this, we have to explain why or why not. First, we need to look at the first equation. This first equation has the slope of 3. Remember, parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines have the opposite reciprocal. And then neither lines, the slopes wouldn't be either one. In this one, the slope is also m equals 3. So lines are parallel because the slopes are the same. In our next example, again, we need to determine the slope. This is in point slope format, so the slope is 2/5. This is in slope-intercept form, the slope is 5/2. They are reciprocals of each other, but they are not opposites, so neither, because they aren't the same or opposite reciprocals. In the next one, we have the first equation, slope is 4/3. In the second one, the equation is in standard form. We need to change it to slope-intercept form to know the slope. To do this, we subtract 3x from both sides. We get 4y equals -3x plus 20. We then need to divide everything by 4 to get y equals -3/4 x plus 5. The slope is -3/4. These are opposite reciprocals. One's positive, one's negative, and they are the flip of each other. So these lines are perpendicular because they are opposite reciprocals. In this one, when there's not a number in front of x, it's understood to be 1, so our slope is 1. For this one, we have to solve for the slope, so we add 4x to both sides, and we have 4y equals 4x plus 20. We then need to divide everything by 4, and we have y equals x plus 5. Again, it's understood that the number in front of x is 1, which is our slope. They have the same slope, so they are parallel lines because they have the same slope. In the next type of example, we have write an equation of a parallel perpendicular to a line with a point. So we want to write the equation of a line parallel to y minus 5 equals 6 times quantity x minus 2 that passes through 1, 3. We need to use this equation to determine the slope, which is 6. Once we know the slope, we use, since it's parallel, we use the slope in our y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 format to get the new equation. The point is -1, 3, so we put 3 in place of y. Our slope is 6. And in place of x, we put minus -1, which ends up being plus 1. Since it says write an equation, we can leave it in this form or we can change it to slope-intercept. This one we want perpendicular. And if you notice the equation, we do not have y by itself. We need to divide everything by 2 to get y by itself. So we have y equals 3 halves x minus 5. Here's my slope being 3 halves. We want perpendicular, which means we have to flip this and take the reciprocal. So that would be -2/3. Then we use this point in the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus 6, 6 is the y point, equals -2/3 times x minus 0. We can simplify it by distributing. So we have y minus 6 equals -2/3 x minus 0, which we can leave off. And then we add 6 to both sides. And we have y equals -2/3 x plus 6 as our final answer.